Hey guys, I'm Brufio. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you a little bit of a deep dive video of MetaTune. And MetaTune is something that has a place in my favorites plugin folder right now. I use it for I think 4 years now. Before that I used of course Autotune, and I also use Melodyne if I want to have more natural sounding tuning. But MetaTune comes with the Slate Digital plugin bundle. And since then I'm using it because I just throw it on a vocal and I thought, wow, it's very intuitive. It sounds very nice. It has all the options that you can imagine. And today I'm going to show you a little bit of how it works, because sometimes you will just use it for one setting, is setting the key and then the retune speed maybe. But I show you what it can do overall and how I use it. I just want to mention that you can also tune other stuff than vocals. Typically people only use it on vocals, but if you have, for example, a guitar solo where in one spot the bending maybe is a little bit flat, but the performance is so good, you can just throw it on this specific section and tune it a little bit. Okay, but let's open it up. I show you a song from myself because then we don't have copyright issues. It's a song I just recorded with the electric guitar and the vocal, so it's a live performance.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have a life that no man can arrive at. Sleeping on my own.
Okay, so you get the idea. You can hear through the microphone the string noise of the guitar, but doesn't matter. So the first thing that you want to know if you want to tune is what's the key, right? Of course you have the chromatic setting and all the good stuff, but I typically do it like this. So in Cubase it's very simple. You add a chord track, just add that here, and what you can do now is, it's really, really nice. I just drag the guitar up to the chords track and it will automatically detect the chords, and it will tell me in which key we are, as you can see here, which is C major. I'm playing a diminished chord, A minor 7, G, D minor, A minor, C, G, D minor, and so on and so forth. So we are in C major. Simple as that. You can also use, of course, apps on your phone or like Chord AI or stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff out there right now, but this is really, really simple. C major. So this is how you can just add the key. So now I have C major, the key that my song is in. I could also maybe use A minor. It's the relative minor of C major. The song is in the major key, so we want to have all the notes. Okay, what you can also do is, if you are really fancy, let's enable the plugin. You can also say, you just here listen. Let's say we play here the guitar.
Or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have
So I always push the button and C is always right. So it always feels right. So you can use also that, or you select, let's say major. Let's say, okay, I know exactly what scale is. Then you can have, as you can see, I have C major now, but if I say, okay, I want the F sharp also in there, it gets purple, and now it will also let an F sharp go into the tuning. So that's also very cool. So if you have some scales, or you just have like one note that you don't want to have in the tuning, then you just deselect it, for example here. And C major, as you can see now, it's a custom scale. Now it's C major again. So that's really, really handy. But I really wish that MetaTune had automatic key detection, if you want. So something like we have here in Cubase. That would make life a lot easier for people that only record vocals and don't have any clue about keys or music theory, you know. So that would be an improvement I want to see in the future. You can also see now here with the purple lines that these are the notes where MetaTune corrected my vocals into. So let's play it again and you will see how it moves here, so you can visually see where it tunes and also how it pushes it into the note.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have a life, then I'm making a right fit.
So you see that this E note, for example, is really a target note. It really tries then to keep it in there. And how we can set how fast and how much it gets tuned is with these knobs. So these are very important knobs. So let's see. I want to say now, let's tune it 100%, but the speed is very, very slow. So it will tune the vocal very, very slowly, but 100%, so clearly up into the middle of the note.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own.
If I increase it now, the speed, you will get more and more of the T-Pain autotune effect, because it is very fast and grabs the note and tunes it to the correct note. So let's see.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have a life, then I'm making a right fit. Sleeping on my own.
Okay, so it's very unnatural. I would say go something like 17 milliseconds, and here like 75%, something like that.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have a life, then I'm making a right fit. Sleeping on my own. Don't know if I can figure out this life. I'm sleeping on my own. Sleeping on my own.
All right, so that's cool. So what do we have here as well before we go also into the sustain? So if you play that note, you have here the tone volume. So that's for that. Input output, as I said, visually, the input is the note came here. You see, I sang it here, so a little bit flat on the C, and it corrected it perfectly on the C. The chromatic scale. This is, if you have a singer, in my opinion, that is very, very good, you trust them that the performance is flawless, let's say. If you would go to chromatic now, it will always go to the next available note that the singer is singing. So if I would sing like the C here a little bit flat, it will correct me to C. Problem is, if I'm too flat on the E here, then it will also push me to the flat note. What's also crazy about this plugin is, if you see, I can go to 0, but now I can also go into minus milliseconds. That's crazy. When you use that with the note stabilizer here, so if you put that on, you get very, very hard tuning without this fluttering, you know, the fluttering sound during the note changes. So let's try that.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I have a life, then I'm making a right fit. Sleeping on my own. Don't know if I can figure out this life.
So that's that. So let's put it back to a little more natural sounding. Also, you have here the low latency mode is also cool if you record through MetaTune. It will be a little bit easier on your CPU. Then we have the sustain node here, and you can also see that you get this wheel, and this is increases or reduces the retune speed based on how long a note is held. All right, so the amount of sustain is shown in the control here, and you have, as I said, this smaller wheel here, so you can see how much speed is applied. Let's see.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I haven't left and no mannequin to write it. Sleeping on my own. Don't know it.
So increasing the sustain makes your health note retune a little bit faster. I think they describe it as creating more vocal nuances and retune effects, you know. Really, really cool as well. And you can also have negative sustain. So as you can see here, it goes into the minus. And so positive, get you smooth note transitions while maintaining a stable pitch on the longer notes. Setting it to negative, get you the hard tuning effect while preserving the singer's vibrato, you know. So if you sing, it doesn't push you to this very strong note. So let's talk about the flutter effect. So with the note stabilizer here, sometimes the tuners overcorrect the performances, I would say, if you have faster speeds. There are a lot of reasons why this flutter effect can happen. But if you want to solve the problem of this fluttering, then MetaTune is great for that. And the note stabilizer does that for you. The note stabilizer ignores the short notes. Doesn't matter the speed setting you have set here. It goes more to the longer notes. And longer notes are up to 200 milliseconds. So if you push the speed down to a very modern sound like 9 milliseconds here for that modern pop sound, and then you hear these unwanted flutterings sounds in the short notes of the singer, you turn on the note stabilizer and select short setting here. As you can see here, it does not correct notes shorter than 40 milliseconds, and then the fluttering is gone. So try that if you have that fluttery sound. I think for hip hop and rap, you can really do amazing stuff with those settings here. So get to know it in and out and get a master of the tuning so you get amazing vocal productions. So the note stabilizer will get you some latency. That's why you can choose here between low latency and note stabilizer. But I think for recording, you can go away with low latency and setting the singer here up. And when you're mixing, you go into the note stabilizer mode and correct everything. If you have different tunings, which most of you don't, but if you have different tunings, you can set it up here. And the default value is of course 440 Hertz, but you can also change the pitch reference here. So if you have different tunings, you can use that as well. And you can also, I think, yes, enter it by hand. So that's also very nice. So now let's go to something that is also really cool, and that's the doubler and harmony effect. So as you can see here, I can go up with the doubler, so dry to wet effect, and the doubler width. So let's do that.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I haven't left and no mannequin to write it. Sleeping on my own. Don't know if I can figure out this life. I'm sleeping on my own. Sleeping on my own. It's not a feeling of loneliness nor emptiness, but in order to achieve my dreams, I have to sacrifice a lot of shit.
It's also really cool if you have some choruses, something like that, you can really punch in some harmonies or doublers on your backing vocals, for example. Or if you have only one vocal and you want to make it a little bit fatter and wider, you can use that small amount.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming? Sleeping on my own. Even though I haven't left and no mannequin to write
Without.
Sleeping on my own.
And with.
Don't know if I can figure out this life.
Really cool. As I said, the double effect, you can increase it, and the width is how separated it is. So if you want really doubles, then leave it there and just go up. If you want to have also width, then increase it, and you can see it visually as well. Really cool. It goes up from 0% no voices, 50% 3 voices, and 100% only 2 voices left and right. Then you can also group MetaTune plugins. So if you have more instances on different backing vocals, for example, you can group them. This is now set to group 1. And if I set 5 MetaTune plugins to 1 and change something, it will automatically change all the other plugins. So that's also very handy. Then we also have presets, of course. So you can see here for hip hop, melodic rap lead. Now it changed everything, but the key stayed the same. So that's cool.
Oh, sleeping on my own. Don't know if it's a real thing or am I just dreaming.
So that's nice. You can also set the groups here, as you can see. You can create presets and save them here, of course, with the save button. You can also set here, keep my scale, keep scale. So that's why the C major also stayed here. If I don't do that, it will change the scale as well. You can A/B, of course, that's clear. You can hide tooltips. So if you hover over it, it will show you some tips. That's cool as well. There are keyboard shortcuts, but I don't think that you need to use them. Global bypass. So all the MetaTunes get bypassed. You can change the heat map here to on and off, and the notes as well, and reset the heat map. That's the most important stuff you have to know about MetaTune. It's a really, really good plugin. It comes, as I said, with Slate Digital Bundle, and hopefully you know now some new stuff about it. I think if you use not a lot of plugins, but some plugins and know them in and out, you are far, far better than if you just use lots and lots of different plugins. For example, the Waves Tune could also be nice, but I never used it because Auto-Tune was enough for me. Now I use MetaTune because it really is amazing. This tutorial should help you get to know everything. So go to brufiomusic.com/gift and you will get my drum sample pack, my Cubase mix template, Phantom preset pack, a lot of cool stuff. And if I add something new, which I do all the time, then you will get also notified. You can get everything that I update. So check that out. Leave a comment down below which plugin you use for tuning vocals. Should I make an in-depth review also of Melodyne maybe? Because I think I really mastered the way to have natural sounding vocals with Melodyne. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. We see us in the next one. Peace out.